Today on Tricrow Studios, we have the Battle of the Bourbon Burst with the Fender 75th Anniversary Commemorative Stratocaster in Bourbon Burst against the Gibson Les Paul Standard 60s in Bourbon Burst. So before we get into the sound samples here, I'm basically just making this video because I just got this yesterday and I absolutely love this thing. It's absolutely wonderful. It does a whole bunch of things. There's some things it doesn't do. This does them. This does what this doesn't do. They're very different guitars. So I am going to treat this video as basically like a Stratocaster versus a Les Paul Standard. This is the American version of the 75th anniversary, so this is the commemorative one. And this is a 2020 Gibson Les Paul Standard 60s. So Strat versus Les Paul, let's get into it. Alright, so there you go. There are the sound samples there. So I do want to go over some of the differences here. There's a lot. There's a ton. But I also want to say I'm fortunate enough to own both of these guitars. I'm very happy to own both of these guitars. And honestly, ever since I got this yesterday, I can't really put it down. But I play this all the time as well. And I know that I'm going to be playing both of these kind of all the time, along with all the other guitars that I own. Even though like I have 18 Gibsons and 4 US-made Fenders, you could say I'm in the Gibson camp, but I'll probably rectify that. I'll probably grab quite a few Fender, USA Fenders sometime next year. But I think as far as both companies go, they put out excellent products. I really wish that these were in nitro finishes, and I'm less confused by the Gibson lineup than I am by the Fender lineup, but that's probably just myself, and I could probably get around things with a little more time put into it. Anyway, let's talk about some of the differences. There's a bunch. So first and foremost, this is a mahogany body with a mahogany neck and a maple top on it. It is not weight relieved, so this is quite heavy. This is a ash body with a maple neck. Also, sorry, rosewood fretboard here. With one-piece maple neck and fretboard. There's not really much to say as far as weight relief goes, but it's a heck of a lot lighter than this one here. If I hold both of them, this may begin to slip because my hands are a little sweaty. The lights are on here. As far as pickups go, we've got the 61R and 61T, which are both humbuckers. You've got a 3-way toggle switch here. So that means technically you got 3 sounds out of this guitar. However, there's a lot of secrets that you can do in the middle position, as well as messing around with the volume and the tone. This has 3 custom shop Fat 60s, as opposed to the Fat 50s that I have on my 60th anniversary Stratocaster. Those come with a 5-way blade, so it's got 5 different positions. The position 2 and position 4 are very, very famous, and you basically, I don't want to say it this way, but you can only get them on the Stratocaster or Stratocaster models. Looking at you, Paul Reed Smith in the Silver Sky. Who goes in the Silver Sky? I don't know. Stratocasters. That makes no sense. Anyway, so we're looking at humbuckers versus single coils here. But the big thing with the Stratocasters, when it comes to the bridge, if you roll down the tone a little bit, you get rid of a lot of that ice pick sound. So it can do like some hard rock and metal without a lot of problems. The middle position I absolutely love, but the neck position to me is the whole reason to buy one of these. Actually, the whole reason to buy 3 or 4 of them. The neck position on honestly any Fender single coil is absolutely phenomenal, and I highly recommend it. Next up for differences, we're looking at the bridge. So for the bridge, we've got a tune-o-matic with a stop bar system here. What that means really, as far as the difference to here, tuning stability, like when you're doing bends and such, you're not really going to have, like if I pluck the A string and bend one of the other strings, there's no real change in pitch. I have these in drop C, so this might backfire on me here. So if I pluck the A string and do a bend, you can hear it goes out of tune a little bit. It bends along with the bend that you're making. So that may or may not be an issue for you, but that is basically why we're looking at the, I don't even know what to call it here, the Fender tremolo system. So basically, if you look in the back here, there's springs, and with the springs you can actually adjust the tremolo so it can be floating, so you can kind of do bends back and forth with a whammy bar. Also, there's a whammy bar with this thing. Excellent. Alright, and just so I don't make this video like way too long, last thing I really want to look at would be the necks. So the necks on this, the Strat has a bolt-on neck, whereas the Les Paul has a set neck. So the neck is actually glued into the body. There's a tenon that actually goes down up towards the neck pickup. In all honesty, I don't have the greatest opinion on set necks versus bolt-on necks as far as like vibrational or tonal changes. I just know from experience I do prefer having the glued-in neck with a gloss finish on it. With the bolt-on necks, it's a little more often that you're going to find satin finishes, which a lot of people absolutely love. But it's just, I'm not sure why, but personally I feel there's a little more vibration. It might not make any sense, but in a set neck versus a bolt-on neck. I think the bolt-on neck is more of like you can swap necks out very easily, and as well, like technically you can take the neck off. I don't know who would do that, but you can take the neck off and it's you can travel with the guitar. I think, to be honest, that's why bolt-on necks came out. Could be wrong. Anyway, that's the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully, you know, you're not going crazy in the comments, which I know some people are. But thanks for watching.